So it's 2021. Um, Moves are being made. Um, Generational wealth is being built. And I just want to shout out Miss Rihanna Fenty for making the moves that she's made as a singer, artist, as a fashion designer, as a businesswoman, and as just an all around force of nature when it comes to not just being a great artist, but also betting on yourself. And I'm loving this trend that we're in, especially within the Black culture, where a lot of us are starting to wake up and realize we can take full control over our financial future. She wasn't afraid to, you know, not be average. She wasn't afraid to bet on herself. She wasn't afraid to become an owner and to take responsibility for her financial future, unlike so many artists who are always dependent on that next deal or dependent on someone to give them a shot or put them on a deal or whatnot. She basically took charge of her life, and it's funny because she used to have endorsement deals, and I remember her getting dropped some years ago because they thought that her image wasn't appropriate, and I'm quite sure that deal paid well, but she figured out along the way that I don't need a deal. I make the deals. I'm the one that can create this life for myself. And so she moved from that M column to the B column. So I just want to shout out to her, but I want to talk about some of the lessons. Number one, I'm pretty sure she's one of the youngest billionaires, if not the youngest in the world right now, younger than the Zuckerbergs and all of these young guys that we see out here. And I'm also pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, not in media, but entertainment as it relates to being an artist, she's the only Black female who has become a billionaire outside of music. And I think, period, right? So she's sold over 250 million records worldwide. She's one of the best selling artists of all time, but the majority of her wealth wasn't tied to her music. It was tied to her business ventures, which is another lesson. When you bet on yourself and you own your own, there's really no limit to how much wealth you can create, which is the opposite of, and a lot of athletes, even though they're very high paid, they're still employees. A lot of artists, they're signed to deals, which basically makes them an employee. So it's a sign this deal. We need 4 albums out of you. We need you to do this many songs. They're obligated to do that. They don't have the freedom to be able to do as they want. And for someone like her, who not only has sold that much, but also owns her master, she's in full control. And I just want to read off some of these brands that she's got, because Savage X Fenty Beauty wasn't her first brand. So she was actually an investor in Tidal, which was, I think a lot of people know that streaming app because of Jay, but he was smart enough to bring in a lot of other artists to co-own it with him, and she was one of them. She came out with a couple of her own fragrance lines, which have also done well. And then she also created her own music label called Westbury Road, where she's signing artists. So now she's not just an artist that's signed, but she gets to sign other independent artists. She also has a beauty and stylist agency called Frame, her Fenty fashion brand, Savage X Fenty, which is a lingerie brand, Fenty Beauty, which sells beauty products, Fenty Skin, which sells skin products. And I'm pretty sure she's just getting started. That's the beautiful thing about business. It doesn't matter how old you are or even how young you are. You can always keep going and always keep creating. So shout out to you, Rihanna. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm excited because I know we're going to see even more Black artists, Black entertainers, and just Black people, period, creating generational wealth and providing wealth for their, not just for themselves and for their future, but for their families. And I think with what she's doing, she's going to inspire a lot of young girls to be like, you don't just have to be an artist. You don't just have to perform. You can have your own company and you can become as rich as you want to be. Look, Price Black Culture Podcast. We love making these types of videos for y'all. Make sure y'all follow. We're on Apple, Google, Spotify. You can follow us on Facebook, TikTok, IG, all the social handles at the Black Culture Podcast. And I really want to see what my co-host Willie has to say about this, because I know that he's got something brewing. All right, y'all. Peace.
First off, man, appreciate that, my boy. Hey man, shout out to the Black Queen, Rihanna. Black women all over the world, ladies, stand up and salute your sister, because she has just done an amazing thing. I think Price said it already, she might be the youngest Black woman to be considered a billionaire right now, man. So shout out to her. And you just think about all the things that she's been through, like where she started. Like, she didn't grow up in wealth. She didn't grow up in money. Like, she started from the bottom, worked her way up, and now she's at the top. She's remained consistent. She's always had good music. She's always been consistent with the product that she put out there. And I'm just so happy and I'm proud of her, man. And it's another reason why I'm proud to be Black. Listen, Black people, we run this world, whether we believe it or not. There are so many great Black people in this world. And yet another example of why you should be proud to be Black. I have a daughter. So for me to see Rihanna coming where she comes from, you may have your things that you want to say about her, may feel she may not lived up to the standards that you have. But this is a Black woman, a young Black woman that's a billionaire. I'm going to tell my daughter about her. This is something I can tell my daughter, hey, you can do it. Follow your dreams, follow your goals. But just for the Black community, man, this is huge. This is big, bro. This is awesome, man. Like, shout out to her, man. Shout out to but the best thing about this, she now has set the bar for the younger Black queens coming behind her. She has set the bar. That's the standard. That's the standard right there. And I salute her. The Black Culture Podcast is proud of her, and we would not be the Black Culture Podcast if we did not make this video to give her flowers. And that's pretty much all I gotta say, is just, it's big for the Black community and it's huge for Black women. Shout out to her. Keep doing great things. Black women, we are proud of you. We love you. The Willie Ashford. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on TikTok. We are the Black Culture Podcast. I'm out. Peace.